My Amazon package containing two 20 Yearz Bratz came. I wasn't planning on buying any of these dolls because I have either the 2001 releases of the characters or the 2005 Bratz Collectors re-releases of them, or I have both for some of the dolls. So I collect a lot of things. I didn't think I needed to buy these Bratz, but I was at Target one day and I saw all of them but Jade, and it was so hard for me to leave them behind. So I decided to buy the two that I needed or could justify the most off of Amazon. These were Amazon warehouse returns, so they were a few dollars off because there's probably some kind of damage to their boxes, or they're wonky and the people who got them didn't want them. And I also had a redemption thing for filling out a survey for $5. But if I waited a few days, I could have saved $4 more. So I'm just gonna get right into it. My predictions for how these dolls are different, like inside box, things you would only know if you open them. I'm guessing that their backs are gonna have ELE stamps or like some kind of code on the back, which would not have been present on any doll before 2008. And their shoes are gonna have holes punched in them, which I'll explain about those things, like those features and what they're for, like when we get into the comparison. And I'm gonna compare these to the dolls I already have. All right.
Oh, and you didn't say why you needed Sasha and Jade the most.
I needed Sasha because I only have the collector's edition doll that my dad bought me, and I'd like to have another one to wear the opposite outfit on display, because that's fun. And I did recently get an actual 2001 Jade. She's one of the characters I don't find a lot of pieces for secondhand, so I thought it would be fun to have like one that had all the stuff. But I have lots of Chloe's, I have 2 Yasmins, I have like 5 Cameron. Yeah.
And yet she still kind of wants them all.
Alright, we have Jade. I did not see her in person. I'll show you close-ups after. Now, I'm not really seeing, like, I don't know, maybe her box is a little scratched. Just kind of scratched. But, it's...
Oh, it has that great sticker that says, "Thanks to you, this product has a second life."
And then we have Sasha. Sasha's box is a little bit, like, puckered out. They're kind of scuffed on the front, so I'm thinking that maybe the person or people who bought these before didn't like the scratches if they were planning on displaying them. So I'll get them in for a close-up. Alright, so this is Sasha. There's a lot of reflection coming off of her box.
From the outside, it looks very much the same.
Yeah, and I'm very familiar with these dolls. The shirt is the only thing that, like, it to me looked in Target slightly different too. But I don't know if it's just because this print is like two-toned, it's yellow and pink. So my Sasha doll has more yellow in the front, so it might just be that. But she's really cool. And then they even have the combs that the originals came with. And this is the back of the box. It's very cool. Cameron's also part of this line. He's not on her box, but I think he was on some of the others that I saw at Target. And then this is Jade. Now I can tell you right off the bat, like, because I study my Bratz dolls very closely and I've had some of them for years, that the facial screenings are like the same, but you know, it's like that subtle doll to doll difference, but I think it's like a mass manufactured kind of subtle difference. Like,
to me, this Sasha looks a lot like your childhood
she's
doll.
not as shiny looking. Like my childhood doll, who's not a 2001 release, she's shinier looking. Now my original 2001 Jade has way thicker makeup and her eyes aren't placed at such an angle, but she looks more like my collector's edition doll, but not exactly the same. But her outfit and stuff is like dead on. And I like how they have the 20 Yearz branding. It's very cool. And that's the back of their box. I'm curious to see if they come with posters. Yes, it says free poster. I don't know if it's going to be the same as the posters.
Does your old Jade skirt have fur, or does it have sequin on them?
No, it's fur.
Oh.
So we're in the process of opening these up.
I'm way behind you.
Yeah, I got Sasha's tray out here. Now, I will say the posters are packaged differently than the originals. So all my childhood Bratz, their posters were stuck in plastic bags in this compartment. Hers was folded just in four like over 4 times, and it was tucked in this space. And this is also more metallic than I remember my original poster being, and it's the same animation, but the poster is slightly different because I got these posters with my Bratz collector dolls because those are the ones I got brand new. So
I just want to say it's sad you're so far ahead of me when Jade's box looked like parts of it had already been opened before and then hastily retooled.
I know how to open dolls quickly, madam. So I brought up my, what's left of my childhood posters because you can see I made them into different like backdrops for doll photography and like videos. These posters came with the 2005 dolls. So the 01s might have been shiny, but the ones I have are not. But other than that, it's the same. Like the design is the same, the pattern is the same. I just trimmed off the extra space for what I was working with, but it is very accurate, and I actually really like this kind of holographic paper. I think it's really cool. Alright, Sasha's out. So this code here is what I was talking about. Usually on Bratz it's printed like lower and it's bigger, but you can see it does have the 21 SZE instead of ELE. The other like older Bratz like from 2008 to 20, I want to say at least 15 have ELE. And that 21 stands for the 2021 year of release from what I've correlated all my Bratz with stamps. A lot of current doll manufacturers have stamps like that, and it's some kind of like code. I don't know if it works the same on Bratz as it does on Barbie, but if you type that number in on Barbie, it'll help you identify them.
I recently typed it in on a Cutie Pops dress by a whole different company, and it worked. That's how I identify the dress.
And then there are holes in the shoe seat, so I know my Bratz stuff because I knew that was going to be the hidden differences that you wouldn't know through looking at the package. And I didn't watch any openings, read any reviews. I don't really care what other people have to say because for me it's all about like that ooh la la factor, you know, the it factor, the warm and fuzzies, the feel goods. So
do you get your feel good?
I felt those feel goods the second I saw them in Target.
Which is why you spent the money?
Yes, and
even though you already had these dolls?
Yes, and I'm not gonna lie, I would totally buy the rest of the line if they went really cheap. But I cannot justify spending a lot on Chloe and Cameron in particular. I will show you how many Chloe clothes I have in storage after. It's shameful. It's a 2-gallon bag, if I'm not mistaken.
And some of them might be on your other dolls. Yes. I know you have some on other dolls, so it's not like, it's like there's more that aren't even in storage.
I also want to point out that these dolls are true to the very OG Bratz. They do not have painted panties. Those painted panties appeared, I want to say, for the first time in 2003, maybe Formal Funk line.
I think you're right.
I think they didn't want them to be risky, if I'm not mistaken, you know, because prom night, there's all of those connotations about prom. But, yeah.
Dana had way too much fun at prom.
Yes, and my 2005 collector dolls also don't have the underwear. So I've taken pieces of the boxes that I want to use for later crafts, because I like to make backdrops and things. And I don't have any of these combs anymore for comparison, because I don't usually keep the brushes. I usually just donate them. But from my memory of these combs, which I had many, this is like a little bit more of a transparent plastic, but other than that, like the color and everything seems pretty spot on. I thought I'd just mention that, but I don't have one for comparison. We'll start with Jade's spare outfit. 2001 Jade outfit. Express It Jade over here is modeling the spare outfit that came with my 2005 doll. Is the outfit that I just got on my 20 Yearz Bratz doll. And the shoes. So I don't have the shoes that go to this, but we can compare the shoes here. That they are exactly the same. My childhood shoes are obviously scuffed up because I played with them. And both of these have holes on the bottom. After 2003, when MGA came out with the Super Stylin' Runway Disco for the Formal Funk collection, that runway had pegboards that you put on a track so the dolls could dance on the runway. And it became standard procedure from then on out for shoes to have holes punched in them. You can tell an authentic 2001 Bratz doll from the 2005 dolls, for instance, because they will have holes in the shoes. So then we have the shirts. So bear in mind, I just want to say that I played with my collector's edition dolls as a kid when I was 13. They've also been on display for 10 years, and anything that I have from the 2001 Bratz dolls, I purchased secondhand, and obviously it was used by other people. So there, you have to factor in there's some level of fading because of age and use. So the new things from the 20 Yearz Bratz dolls are going to look a little bit crisper, but that's not an actual variation. So you can see here that the little sequin shirts are the same exact material. This is 20 Yearz Jade's, 2001 and 2005. And then this is my 2001 skirt, my 2005 skirt, and the 20 Yearz skirt. Now the only thing I will say is that the 20 Yearz skirt looks to be a little bit longer than my 2001 skirt, but it's about the same length as my 2005 skirt. And the fur is a little bit more balled up on the 2001 skirt. Jade's main outfit, so this is my 2001 doll. We'll start with the hats. So this is my 2005 doll's hat, my 2001 doll's hat, and my 20 Yearz hat, which you can tell is a lot darker and more vibrant. But you can see also from my childhood hat that it's kind of pilled, and this 2001 is faded. And if you go to the inside, you can see that this was once upon a time just as bright as that. They have the same like braided tails. And then we'll compare the bags. I do not have a 2001 bag, but I do have my collector's edition bag, which I think it still has tissue paper inside it that I never took out. And then the 20 Yearz thing. You can see this bow is still tied. My childhood one came undone. But it's literally the same bag. It has the same quilting. It's the same size. It has the same stitching detail. Now the shoes have you can see this is what I mean. So these are the 2001 shoes. I actually have a few pairs of these. This is the 2005 doll shoe. And this is the 20 Yearz shoe. And you can see that the re-releases have the holes punched in them. And then for your comparison, this is a 2001 shoe, a 2005 shoe, and a 2021 shoe. You can see the holes on the bottom there. They are the same. Now, I don't have the belt for these pants. She didn't have it on anymore. But you can see my 2005 doll's belt and the 20 Yearz belt. They are exactly the same. We have 2001 Jade's pants, 2005 Jade's pants, and 20 Yearz Jade's pants. They are all the same. Mine haven't even faded, and I have washed these obviously. I have the shirts here. So my 2001 doll shirt is actually a little less faded than my 2005 doll shirt. And then you can see that the 20 Yearz shirt is actually really vibrant like my 2001. That's because I played with this a lot and she's been on display a long time. I've had this doll for like not even a month. And you can see the little cat decal is exactly the same. As I said, I do not have anything from 2001 Sasha to compare. We'll start with Sasha's spare stuff. So we have my 2005 doll's outfit and the 20 years outfit. And you'll note that my 2005 outfit looks like really, really bright. It's because I haven't put it out on display at all since I've been collecting, and I didn't play with this a lot, so it looks really nice. So the difference is my old shirt here is a little bit longer and there's more yellow on the front, but if you flip them over, you can see that this is literally the same fabric. It's just depending on where it was cut and how it was sewn, you'll get more yellow or more pink, but it's literally the same. The pants are also the same, like white denim. They are sewn exactly the same way. I noticed my 2005 dolls pants are like a teeny bit longer, but something like that can be a doll to doll variation, because people do like sew these clothes on machines. Like, people can make slight errors, so I don't think that that's necessarily an actual deviation. And then we have the shoes here. So this is the 2005 shoe, this is the 2021 shoe. They are literally the same color, and they both have holes punched in the bottom again. And the backpacks here are the same. My childhood one is just the drawstring is pulled through and you can actually see a thread. But they have the same hip hop design, they have the same stitching, the same straps. They are identical. So we have her silver beanie with the pom-pom. Now, there is a slight difference on the pom-pom from the looks of it. There's more silver in my childhood Sasha's pom-pom, whereas this one does have silver. It's just, I think it's less shaggy. So that is a very slight difference. The skirt's supposed to disconnect. So you can see right away that my Sasha's outfit from childhood is a little bit faded, but it was this bright blue when it was brand new. You can see that it separates at the same place with the same style of Velcro. It has the same colored stitching. It has the same pocket detail, the same little like drawstrings on the bottom. It just, this one looks like a little bit brighter. And the shirt, you're gonna see like a pretty big difference on color-wise, because this doll has been out on display for 10 years and I played with the shirt a lot. But you can see it's the same fabric, it's the same kind of soft material. It's got the same stripes, the same orange. It is the same. This is 2005 Sasha sneaker, and this is 2021 Sasha shoe. You can see, other than the fact that mine is kind of fading and chipped from age, that it is the same. It's painted the same. Onto the dolls themselves. I'm gonna have pictures of the dolls on Flickr. I have facial close-ups of all of them, so you can see them side by side compared. 2001 Jade has very thick eyeliner and very like dark paint, whereas my 2005 doll, she has the exact same eye dots and placement of makeup. It's just her features were done with less of a heavy hand. I haven't noticed this with Chloe and Yasmin from my 2005 and 2001 releases. If you look on Flickr, they're literally identical. 2021 Jade, she does indeed have, her eyes are more like at an angle, but she overall looks just like my 2005 girl. She's not painted as heavily as 2001 Jade. So you can see when I put them side by side, there's definitely more of a noticeable difference. She's definitely done softer, which head is a little bit more, I don't know, like translucent looking. And then, as I suspected with Sasha, my collector's edition Sasha, it might be hard to see on like film, but she does have shinier face paint. It's a little bit darker and richer. And now I'll show you a comparison of how their hair is different, or rather it's completely the same. So we have 2001, 2005, and 2021 Jade. They all have saran hair, all black saran hair. It's styled in 2 ponytails and it is the same length. Jade, 20 years Jade's hair looks a little bit longer because her ponytails are seated more at the back. I recently deep cleaned all of my Bratz dolls and I had to change hair elastics out, so I put these girls' ponytails up a little higher, but it's the same density. It's not any thicker. Her ponytails, you can see, are the same thickness. And then we have my 2005 Sasha and 2021 Sasha. They again have the same color saran hair. The only thing that I notice is that my 2005 doll was rooted with less hair. Even Colleen noticed when she picked up my new Sasha that she felt like she had more hair. And again, that can just be like a doll to doll thing. I have like 2 beach party Chloe's from 2002, and one I got her brand new, she was practically bald, and the other I got secondhand and she has way more hair. There are different versions of the original 2001 Bratz. Some of them lacked detail. I believe they were the very first run made. They have the Band-Aid label on their packaging. They won't have things like these decals on their clothes and accessories, and they'll have shorter hair. Like Yasmin and Chloe, for instance, their hair won't be like past their butt, it'll be like above it. It'll be a noticeable difference in hair length. So the very first runs of these, I believe, were actually the cheapest version. So like this Jade would have been also from 2001, but I think a slightly later run. So that's something to be noted, that there are hair variations with the original 2001 dolls. So Sasha's thickness difference could just be a doll to doll thing. The new dolls are dressed up in their spare attire. I had to do some rearranging. I had to move my step out people up there so I could accommodate Sasha and Jade. But these are not all my first edition dolls. I have another Chloe somewhere else on display, and I have other Camerons too. I'm really happy with these dolls. I think they're beautiful, and although I really didn't like need them, it is cool having such classic Bratz, and I'm also realizing just how loved and faded my childhood outfits are. I definitely think that these 20 Yearz dolls are like such close replicas, considering that literally 20 years passed between the original release. I think that it's more or less like having the same thing, and the price point of $25 if you buy them for retail is completely fair given inflation and the quality of the dolls. If you want to see pictures of these dolls, feel free to check out my Bratz albums on Flickr. You don't need a Flickr to view them, so if you want to see like the facial comparisons of them, or if you want to read more about their releases, because Chloe, for instance, was also packaged with the 2002 FM Cruiser back in the day, feel free to check that information out on my Flickr. And until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.